Coming up next on Lexington Now, an exciting committee meeting, Thursday Night's Dead, we say goodbye to one of our own, and an announcement about me. What? Welcome to Lexington Now. I'm Barry Pfeffer, back again. Neil Noah, unfortunately your host, is still away, and I'm still sitting in for him. So let's just get this done. Sad news. Goodbyes are never easy, but we say goodbye this week to one of our co-workers, passing on to a better place. No, she's not dying. She's just moving to Seattle. We sat down with Martha Allen, almost ex-council clerk, to find out about where she's been and where she's going. So are we playing the video now? Or?
I thought we were doing the interview.
So we're doing this now? Okay, you could have just told me. Oh, hi Martha. Thanks for being on the show. Just to reiterate, you're not dying?
No, I'm not dying.
That's good. Martha, you're our first guest here in the studio. What's that been like?
Well, I just got here, so I'm not really sure yet.
That's awesome. Why are you leaving? I ask because sometimes people say they're leaving voluntarily, but really they just got fired.
No, I didn't get fired, as far as I know. I'm moving across country for a job, my husband's job. He's going to work in Washington.
You didn't get fired?
As far as I know, I didn't get fired.
What do you do as council clerk?
We manage the records. I take the minutes. I read the legislation. We handle archives. We handle legislative management.
But do you do anything interesting? So it's no?
No,
Have you ever found anything awesome in the city's archives?
Yes, we find some things that belong to previous mayors or previous archivists that work here that just kind of got left behind.
Okay, so nothing. What are you going to do in Seattle?
Well, I won't be working, so I'll be caring for our 4-year-old son.
You're not going to be council clerk there?
No, I'm pretty sure they already have one.
Oh. It's a big move. It doesn't sound like you really have it planned out very well. Are you planning on coming back?
Yes, I absolutely am planning on coming back in about a year.
Do you think the city will hire you again after whatever it is you did to lose your job this time?
No, I didn't do anything to lose my job. And I'm hoping that maybe they'd hire me back. I didn't get fired, for the record. You are really sweating.
I know. What are you going to miss most about living in Lexington?
All the wonderful people and the beautiful scenery. We live right next to a bunch of horse parks.
What are you going to miss most about working here?
Well, probably just how supportive people are here. You know, people have been so kind to me ever since I started, and I mean, my coworkers made me feel like it was okay if I had flaws. I didn't have to be perfect. I know sometimes there can be a really big fear of making mistakes, but I feel like the people who supported me were more interested in how you pick yourself up after that and learn from it, and I think that that's more valuable than anything. Are you crying?
No. But just on a personal note, I just like to say that I'm sorry that you're leaving, because you've always been very nice to me. And not everybody has always been nice to me. So I just wanted to say thank you for always being so nice and kind to me.
Oh, that's so sweet. But I don't remember actually meeting you before today.
I'm like in your office every week for Lex TV stuff.
Are you?
Yeah. We went to Martha's office to find out more about what she does. What does Martha do around here? So Samantha, what are you going to miss most about Martha?
What am I going to miss the most about Meredith?
Martha.
Martha, oh. Sorry.
Is there anything you're going to miss about Martha?
Meredith was just...
Martha.
Martha. I guess one thing I can say that I'll really miss about her is her peppiness. It's almost to the point of annoyance, but it's nice to have a little bit.
Oh, the swearing.
She comes in guns a-blazing. Really starts the day off right.
She is one of the most prolific and creative swear word people that I've ever met. I'm looking forward. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to not swearing so much after she's gone.
So, Martha, what do you do for fun in this office?
Well, we have a lot of competitions, like our latest art competition.
And it's you and your coworkers here?
Mm-hmm. They're really fun and creative and expressive.
Does sound like fun.
One day I went in there and she was eating a salad for lunch, but she was eating it out of a bucket.
Not many people know that her favorite scent is actually Germ-X.
It was literally, she had to put her entire hand down in with a fork to spear the lettuce.
I think that pretty much entails Marla's participation here in the office.
Martha.
Martha. Sorry.
It might have been a cat litter bucket.
What is that?
That's my life-saving rain protective poncho. I don't have enough hands for an umbrella. I'm a bag lady. This feels amazing. It's warm and I'm protected from the rain.
I want it. Does it bother you that I'm wearing your poncho?
Only because you're sweating so much.
You can edit that out, right?
Yep.
So now that you're leaving, there's going to be an open council clerk position. So how can I apply to that, get that?
Well, I suppose you could call HR and put in your application. You need to have some records experience, though.
I don't have that.
Well, what are your qualifications?
I'm faster than I look. And I know where the council chamber is. I know. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Martha before she leaves?
I would like to say that I'm going to miss Martha most because every day is the best day of her life. She's a genuine treasure.
So is there anything you would like to say to Martha before she goes?
Stock up on those ponchos.
That was fun and educational. Thanks, Martha. We'll all miss you. Have fun in the rain and cold. Speaking of people not really dying, do you like watching people pretend to die in gruesome ways? Well, if so, you're in luck. Come on out to the Kentucky Theater on Thursdays this summer for Thursday Night Dead.
Last year was our first year putting together Scarefest, and we were thinking there's a lot of local people that love scary movies. Unfortunately, you don't get to see a lot of them in the theater, not the old ones specifically, but also the ones that are done by local filmmakers. And Scarefest was only a once a year type of deal. And so we thought it'd be really cool if we could, once a month, get these films out, get them in the Kentucky Theater, which is a great location. And it went really well last year, and we're looking forward to doing it this year.
And another good thing about Lexington in the spring, summer, and fall is we have Thursday Night Live, which is under the pavilion downtown. So it's very convenient. You know, you've got lots of people that can simply just walk right down the road and go to see a movie and extend their evening past when the band stops playing. So, or you can skip Thursday Night Live altogether and just go straight for the movie. So this is the year of rebirth, and so we've titled it that. So with rebirth, we are also growing the convention in other ways. So that's how the Thursday Night Dead series came about.
You know, there's a lot of film series in and around Lexington, especially in like Ohio and things, but you know, nothing really central to like horror movies and things of that genre. And so I think Thursday Night Dead kind of brings that genre to life for folks. So Scarefest, you know, we bring in a lot of celebrities and a lot of filmmakers, and a lot of those movies are just old classics from the 80s. And so again, we were just like, man, it would be awesome because you have like these 80s rewinds, and they're mostly like, you know, comedies and stuff out of the 80s, but nothing like if I went to go down and watch the original Day of the Dead, like you don't get that chance very often. And so we try to keep it central to you know, our lineup for that year for Scarefest, and if we're going to have like some main like Hollywood blockbusters, like it coincide with the folks that we're going to be guests that year. And so as we go through and finalize that and look at things, like we'll start adding movies to the group, just as a way to like kind of get everybody kind of pumped and excited and ready to go for September. One thing that we thought that would be really important was to not only showcase some of the older mainstream movies, but also allow our local filmmakers, all the ones in Lexington. If you're a filmmaker and you've put so much blood, sweat, and tears and money, you know, into this film that you've made, you know, you want to be able to show it to folks that share your community, that, you know, your neighbors, people in the area that love the film, and be able to do so to where it doesn't, you know, break the bank, and you're able to like get your film out there and have folks see it. And so we were talking about it in that context, and it just kind of made sense. It takes a lot of work to produce a film, and it's your baby, and you want to make sure as many, but it's useless if nobody gets to watch it. And so what we're trying to promote is a venue, again at the Kentucky Theater, where, you know, you have, you know, your work that you've just bled over in a major theater in front of a lot of people. And I think that's a really good, promising idea for folks.
And the Kentucky Theater is different and special, and it's beautiful. It's the kind of theater that looks like a red carpet event. It's dripping with crown molding and beautiful architecture, and it's just it's a different experience to see a movie, especially a classic movie, in a theater that has such classic beauty. There's some ghosts there. I like that part too. It's a little bit haunted. You know, it's a historic place to go and see a film.
Now, they'll be the last Thursday of the month for the next few months, and then when we get closer to Scarefest, we're actually going to be having, we'll have one every other week. So we encourage people that want to get their work out there and let us see it and help showcase it, you know, in either, you know, at the convention or, you know, online submissions that are going through our website right now for the indie film series. Like, that's going to help us decide, you know, what we're playing in 2019 at the theater. If you follow along Thursday Night Dead and you want the most recent information, so there's going to be a couple ways that you can get that. You know, the first one is that the theater usually posts it on its website, and so if you're a fan of the Kentucky itself, you'll see those pop up. The best thing is Scarefest's social media site. Facebook we have over 50,000 people that subscribe to our Facebook page, and so we found that that's the best way to kind of get that information out there. And so as we get a little bit closer and finalizing the films that we'll be showing, and the days and the times, you know, that Facebook is going to be the best way for you guys to find out about that.
And join not just the page, but the group, because the group will go to your feed every single time. If you're a member of the group, sometimes the algorithms of liking just a page, it doesn't actually end up in your feed. So make sure you join the group, and also listen to Scarefest Radio every Friday night, because our announcements go there first, then they hit Facebook right after they're announced on Scarefest Radio.
Now I'm just dying to go. Thursday Night Dead's mix of local and classic horror films runs through the summer to the start of Scarefest in September. Pause. And if you think you're on the edge of your seat now, wait till you see the highlights from one of last week's committee meetings. That and a lot more coming up after the break.
This is an exciting time for the Lexington Bluegrass Area Minority Business Expo as we continue to grow and remain responsive to business needs in Kentucky.
Fifth Third actually has been involved since the very beginning, 16 years ago, and after that first year we liked it so much that we became the presenting sponsor, and we've been the presenting sponsor ever since.
Fifth Third Bank knows why this expo draws business people from across the region. Now you can too. Register at lexingtonmbe.com and see why this expo is taking businesses into the future.
Hi, this is Raymond Sexton with the Lexington Human Rights Commission. I'm here today to educate you about rights regarding citizens with disabilities. We're a local agency in Lexington, Kentucky, and we investigate discrimination complaints in the areas of employment, housing, and public accommodation. So individuals who feel like they're being discriminated against in their jobs or with respect to their housing, whether it be situations regarding accommodation, service animals, hours reduced, terminations, whatever. You can call our office and file a formal complaint. Our services are free. Individuals who feel like they've been discriminated against can contact us a variety of ways. You're more than welcome to visit us here at our location. We're at 3042 Waller Avenue, Suite 1A, located right next to the old Central Kentucky Blood Center. You can contact us via our website and file a formal complaint online. Our address is www.lfuchrc.org, or you can call us at 859-252-4931. Feel free to visit us one of those ways. You would fill a formal complaint form out online or at our office, and that form will be sent to one of our investigators who will review it and then be in contact with you to start the formal filing process. Like I said, our services are free, so feel free to check us out. We want individuals to know their rights. Thank you.
Welcome back. It's been a wild ride today, but do you want even more excitement? Try the COW, C-O-W, Committee of the Whole, yo. In this meeting, they discussed the possibility of building of a brand new government center. Will they or won't they? Spoiler alert, maybe. We don't know yet, but maybe. Get ready. Here are some highlights.
I believe we'll start with Mr. O'Mara, if you would. We looked at a schedule of projected critical repairs, and so we looked at one being we stay here and we fix everything at once, or we stay here and do critical repairs as we go along. That was compared to the new City Hall proposal. Under the full deferred after 20 years, the total savings to the government is projected to be $39 million, and under the stopgap, the projected savings after 20 years would be about $44 million. So relocating is less expensive under the full repair scenario.
How would we propose to come up with the $5.1 million if we didn't have an increase in revenue?
We would have the same challenge as we would if we had increased operation and maintenance and utility costs to pay for these buildings.
Going back to our land that we have here, the 4.23 acres, we all know that downtown an acre of land is $1 million. So right there is worth 4.23 million. If you take out this building, it's still worth $3 million for the other parcels. So the land, the ground itself is $4 million. So, you know, you throw all this stuff in.
An RFP to do this, I think it was short-sighted. I think there should have been council involvement and maybe some public hearings.
I don't want to point any fingers saying anybody did anything wrong, but there's some things about the RFP that bother me, and I don't see location as a pass-fail course. Some locations are much better culturally, sociologically, and we did not take that into consideration at all. And I really think we should have. I think there's something missing.
I think we continue to kick the can down the road. I mean, I don't think there's anyone here that disagrees that we need a new building. It's the location and the money.
Vice Mayor, I want to go on record by saying I've been here for 30 years almost, off and on, and I have never, ever experienced what I've experienced in the last month. And I can't understand why we have to wait and rush. I've never seen anything rush this quick without public input. And I went back and studied this weekend to figure out why we are in such a rush. And it had come to my conclusion, there is a council member on this committee, that got over $13,700 from the development group.
Councilmember Maloney, I'm going to rule you out of order.
No, I've been told I can say this.
I'm going to
I-
rule
say their
you.
name. I can say this.
I'm ruling you out of order, and I'm turning over the chair to Councilmember Stinnett.
Vice Mayor Kay.
I'm calling Councilmember Maloney in order. I believe he's violating the rules of the council. In
I'm not
basically
finished.
personal, not talking about the issue itself.
Well, anyway, back to my thing. I think this is wrong. It doesn't smell right. It don't look right. And I said a month ago.
Point of order.
I'm talking about the building now. I'm not talking about what happened. I just think a lot of things don't smell up right. So I'm back to what I'm talking about right now, because a couple of years ago, I came to the mayor, the administration, and I tried to save money for this city. We had a chance to buy this building across the street, Chase Bank, for $20 million. We could have got a new council chamber. We had more parking spaces than we had over here. And guess what? We were spending $2.5 million a year for this building. We would have bonded this building for 20 years. We would have owned the building by paying almost saving $1 million a year and paid off in 20 years. I don't see anybody banging down the doors to buy these properties. And if I'm going to sit here, I'm not going to vote for this until I got a guarantee that somebody's buying all these buildings before I even go look at something else. Because if y'all want to go through Centerpoint, you will be called Centerpoint for the next 8 years. So think about before you make this rational decision, and be sure you better make sure you don't vote for something like this.
Thank you.
Oh, snap. Cow? More like wow. Another committee of the whole meeting, another round of fireworks.
Don't say fireworks.
Oh. Back to saying goodbyes. There's one more week of Lexington Now before Neil gets back, but fortunately for everyone, this will be my last show. Thank God. Thank you. Next week, I turn over the reins to someone just as bald, but twice as handsome, my half-brother. Oh. Hey, buddy. My half-brother, Rusty Hamilton. Point to Rusty. You are so bad at this. You're bad at this. Probably. There are several meetings coming up this week. Here's the schedule. Why are you here? Fixing what you broke, as usual. Well, this isn't easy. Not the way you do it. You're the worst. Well, Barry, according to all the comments about last week's show, the consensus seems to be that you're the worst. You're the worst. Just hang on, Barry. It's almost over. You're almost over. These meetings will be aired live on Channel 185, as well as on our live stream, and you can find any televised meeting archived at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV, where you can also find our other programming, or you can check us out on our YouTube channel, LexTV, where you can also find all our programming, including all the episodes of this show. That's all for this week. Keep up with us on social media and take a look at the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers of Lex TV, I'm Barry Pfeffer, and that's it.